For 48 years, the Crystal Pier has stood in Pacific Beach, its worn wooden beams and resort motel a sign of the past. But after decades of wave erosion, San Diego City engineers claim the pier is too hazardous to walk, let alone live on. And since the city owns 3/4 of the pier, it's up to the City Council to decide its fate. Parks and Recreation analyst Henry Pepper describes the problem.
We have a report from the city's Engineering and Development Department which states that the timber piles are rotted and split at many locations. There's a lack of sufficient lateral bracing in the longitudinal direction of the pier, and that the pier itself is now depending upon its stability on the embedment of the piles into the ocean floor, much like a flagpole. Given the right conditions of high winds, high tide situations, that the pier is subject to sudden collapse. That could be tomorrow or it could be in 5 years.
The city councilmen have 3 options. They can leave the pier as is, or can take the word of city engineers and close down the last 800 feet of the pier immediately, or they can take the advice of one of the pier's owners and hire a consultant to evaluate the pier's condition.
We would like to have the structural analysis done by an independent who the city has supposedly let a contract to, and have it determined, and we would like to put the pier into a safe and operable situation.
Since most of the motel stands on city-owned property, there's a good chance if the council closed the pier, it would also close the resort, and that, in one tenant's words, would be a catastrophe.
We've been coming out here for 9 years, at least 5 times a year, and we don't feel in a bit of danger.
Doesn't it rock a little bit?
Oh, yes. Yes, there is rocking, and at night there's rocking, and we go out the end of the pier and fish, and it rocks, but we don't feel that it's dangerous.
Just whether the City Council decides to repair or demolish this pier could be decided at a public hearing next Monday. In the meantime, some of the tenants here appear to be making the most of what could be their final vacation at the old Crystal Pier. In Pacific Beach, Janine Tartaglia reporting for TV8 News.
The cottages on Crystal Pier in Pacific Beach are a one-of-a-kind property, and now the readers of Sunset Magazine know what San Diegans figured out a long time ago. They're also very romantic, showing up number 2 on the top 10 most romantic cottages.
Where you're over the water, you can hear it, throughout your stay. Afternoon, out on your patio. At night, when you're going to bed, you've still got it underneath you. So just a complete, unique getaway.
During the summer, these beaches can be packed, but this time of year, you can find yourself almost alone with nothing but sand in front of you. The pier was built in 1927 with a ballroom on the end. The cottages arrived 10 years later, and there are 23 of them, all with private patios perched over the ocean.
Not only ocean front, but over it. So as far as we know, there's no other setup with it, a pier that has accommodations on top of it.
The architecture is Cape Cod and have all been updated, along with the pier, which ran into a bit of trouble during the El Nino of 1983. And if the motion of the ocean isn't enough to inspire you, the staff has been known to help.
Set some rose petals and candles up while they're away at dinner. Sneak in and light the candles for them so they come back into a romantic little cottage.
The cost for one of these coastal cottages midweek start at $235 a night and of course go up.
The further out you get to sleep over the fish is a little more expensive.
So for your next romantic getaway, remember, there's no place like home.